Sitting Jessica on the servant room bed, Nanjo told her several times not to touch her eyes and examined the affected area. The barrel had probably been near her eyes. There's a possibility that the flames from the discharge had injured her corneas. There was no threat to her life, but it would probably be necessary to take her to a doctor as soon as possible. Nanjo applied emergency first aid, covering the affected area with gauze, wrapping it with a bandage. As a result, Jessica completely lost her field of vision. "Is that okay? The wound may hurt her itch, but you mustn't scratch at it to rub it. When tomorrow comes, let us go to an ophthalmologist as soon as possible."
That bitch, she really was trying to kill me. If the angle had been just a little bit off, I'd have been killed by now. I'll definitely turn her into the police.
Arasham will not do such a thing. That was an accident.
You call that an accident? She killed Dad and Mom. There's no way any 19th person or witch exists on this island. She's behind everything. She was the only one on the first floor of the guest house.
Umineko, but now Jessica takes over as battler.
George Nissan must have...
Oh, that's...
George Nissan must have seen her kill Mom and Dad, and she killed him to keep him quiet. It's the same with Grandfather and the servants. I'm sure she snuck out of the family conference last night and killed all of them.
If that is indeed the case, we'll find out as soon as possible, as soon as the police investigate. The police are incredible, and with their powers of discernment, there's nothing that cannot be understood. There's no need for us to suspect or hate anyone.
That's an interesting point. We never, ever actually get to see what the police make of the situation.
Indeed we don't, and this...
Go ahead.
And this would be quite different if we did have anyone who had those skills here and the knowledge that they would bring.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this we don't know for sure, circumstances about people's killings and so on, or if people have been in places and left fingerprints and so on.
Right, so if you had an actual detective here, like, maybe more of the magic would peel away as they were able to...
Yeah.
Maybe the magic only works because no one has the smarts to deduce what's going on.
As it turns out, when you're on an isolated island with no communication and very few people, sufficiently advanced becomes a lot less advanced.
Right.
Huh?
That's true. That
said, magic is real.
And my friend.
The police will solve everything. So for now, Jessica-san, you should devote yourself to resting your body and keeping your eyes shut. Of course, if you wrinkle your forehead too much, it will do nothing good for your eyes. Not to mention they're brutal.
When Jessica's abuse of Eva had reached a crescendo, she actually had started glaring instinctively, and the pressure on her eyes had hurt her. Jessica herself had realized the more she talked, the more the wound would hurt. Regardless of whether she'd overcome her suspicions of Eva, she regained her composure for the time being.
She killed them. Dad and Mom. And Shannon. And Cannon-kun. Cannon-kun.
Oh, someone say my name. I feel like I'm dead.
I can still hear his voice.
Oh, Jessica-chan, you know how much I miss you, and really, I was just waiting for the right moment to tell you how much I cared for you, and that I wish that someday we might be together.
Yeah, it must just be my imagination, though.
Motherfucker. She'd heard that Cannon had been killed in the chapel, and Jessica still hadn't seen his face after he had died. I'm getting really sad for our made-up Jessica. Jessica was now less fearful about the fact that she was blinded, and more frightened that the police would carry Cannon's body away while she still couldn't see, and she would have to say her final farewell without being able to look at his face. Her anger at the culprit and her sadness at the death of the person she'd liked. Those mixed emotions started her crying. But right now, tears were actually painful for her. So she wasn't even permitted to leisurely remember his face in bygone days. Jessica could do nothing but sit on the bed and let her head droop, withstanding the pain.
Well then, now I'm worried more about Everson. I hope she isn't too shaken by this.
Realizing that Jessica had calmed down for the time being and letting out a sigh, he stuck his head out into the hallway to look for any sign of the others coming back.
You thought I wasn't gonna be in this one, didn't you?
Then their eyes met. Nanjo, unable to understand who this person was bewildered for an instant.
I hear that people who lost the power of sight have 0 anti-magic power and magic resistance power. In other words, you're an isolated pawn right now. How you doing? You a fan of my work? Understand what that means?
What did you say?
Nanjo had no way of understanding who the person in front of him was, much less what she had just said. This is gonna be Jessica.
Dr. Nanjo? What's going on?
Unable to see, Jessica had to rely on voices alone to make out the situation. But since she heard Nanjo say something in an uneasy tone, she tightened up, thinking that something bad might have happened.
So, please don't kill me. I have a sick grandchild. I must die here. But I can't stay here. Please, spare me.
Dr. Nanjo? Dr. Nanjo!
Jessica couldn't do anything except call out from the bed. Judging by the tone of his voice, Nanjo was in the corridor confronting someone, and he was scared. His life must have been threatened just a second ago. It was really funny seeing just mini Eva pop out and be like,
Sup, kid?
No, stop it.
On the ninth twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive. Nyeh.
The witch pointed the end of her gold staff at Nanjo. Even though he didn't know what she was planning to do, Nanjo assumed that she must be trying to take its life.
Dr. Nanjo! Dr. Nanjo! Is someone there? Answer me!
Stop it.
Bang! A sharp sound echoed. And just as sharply, the tip of the golden staff tapered and stretched, slicing into Nanjo's forehead. Jessica, who could only try to grasp what was happening with her ears, had no clue what was going on, but even so, she was able to realize that with that sound, Nanjo had died. And she could tell that a person was now in the corridor right in front of the servant room. Furthermore, since she couldn't see, she wouldn't be able to run away, much less resist. Knowing that she was a mouse in a trap and in a life-or-death situation, Jessica shuddered.
Oh, Jessica.
I need to find it.
Too bad your eyes got injured. Now you can't even escape. I'm gonna play a whole lot with Nanjo's corpse now. Well, when I get bored of that, I'll kill you next and play a bunch more, okay? So don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. No, wait, I guess if I got you here blind already. I won't wait until you're dead. I'll have a lot of fun with you before I kill you too. Yeah. So, wait there shaking for a while, okay? As you try to imagine all the ways I'm playing with Nanjo's corpse.
Ah!
Jessica was struck with fear and let out a frail scream. She wanted to scream in a much louder voice, trying to get someone to help her. But she couldn't. When faced with true fear, it clogs up a person's throat. Right then, Jessica could barely even breathe.
Help me! Help me! Ah!
She searched around with her hands, trying to find some way to escape. But even though she should have known this room well, just being unable to see made it like a closed room of darkness. She ran into a shelf or something, and things like a candy, jars, and bottles fell down, hitting her on the head. If she was now, it would have been tough for her to even guard her head to block it. She was painfully aware of how powerless humans become just by losing their sense of sight. Of course, she had no time to be impressed by this fact. She crawled around at random, trying to escape from that place, but she kept bumping into things that she didn't understand, getting hit by various falling objects. It felt like the entire room was alive, bullying her and refusing to let her escape. Then a footstep could be heard from that presence in the hallway, and then a voice. She'd probably poked her head into the room since Jessica had been so loud.
You really are noisy. Act like a lady and wait there on the bed, okay? Because I'll give you a wonderful blood red death outfit fitting for such an honored daughter. Something good enough to make the person who finds you faint, okay? Yeah.
Ah!
Just poke at my head and see how it's going. Don't worry. Your call is important to us.
Until just a second ago, she had sworn that she'd kill the culprit if she found them. However, she was now very powerless. She couldn't do anything except let out a scream, crawling around on the floor and bumping her head into the bed and the legs of the desks.
Help me! Help me! Someone help me! Dad! Mom! Battler! Someone come! Help me! Cannon-kun!
In the corridor, as the witch thought of how to toy with Nanjo's life, a single gold butterfly secretly watched that scene from the corner of the hallway. It was Beato, who had barely escaped with her life once before. The gold butterfly softly returned to human form. It was faint and transparent like a lace curtain. By now her power was so weak that even maintaining this form was difficult for her. Right next to her, Ronove also appeared. I could do a full appeal. It is unlikely that Jessica will survive. Of course, there will be no survivors from the very beginning.
She has grown feelings of love for Canon. I have toyed with them at times. However, such behavior was shameful for a witch.
You really just do roll over like a dog as soon as someone just even, like, remotely talks back to you, huh?
Christ, what can I do to make you happy with me?
I'm just pointing it out. Love is the single element. Romantic love is even more pure, more sacred. Though for some reason you seem to despise it thoroughly, milady.
Teacher told me. Magic exists to bring people happiness. That's something I myself must have been aware of in the past. When I forgot that, I stopped being a witch, and so I lost the right to be Battler's opponent.
Alright, hard read. The reason this is happening, it's meta. It's because there's someone, two people, Battler and Beato, playing a game, and that game is called Umineko When They Cry. In the game that they keep playing, they keep coming to a conclusion and then running again, playing the game over again, and resetting it back to how it was. Like a computer game.
Maybe.
How's that for a hard read, huh?
I can hardly believe it, my lady. Do you actually intend to rescue Jessica? It'll be dangerous.
I know. Even if I do save her, she will become a plaything of the witch's banquet when the door to the Golden Land opens. But even so, that death would be far more compassionate than what that person would do to her. The witch's banquet steals lives in a terrible way, but it does not do so more than once. It does not toy with life and death.
You're really out here arguing that it's better for her to be tortured on end for hours and only to die once at the end of it than... You know what? I'm out.
Yes,
sure.
I am.
Okay. I'm sure she will agree with you.
However, that person is different. She kills over and over. She kills for fun. Who does that? So gauche. There's not even a trace of compassion there.
I think you're gonna need to wait a little
No
bit
elegance.
longer
No elegance. None of the cuteness and elegance of a witch like me.
All right, now you're just laying it on a bit too thick.
I, the hero of this story, want to at least save Jessica from that kind of cruel fate.
I hesitate to phrase it this way, but I don't think a battler would like such a drastic shift either.
Oh, should I... Do some murder? I'm really having trouble here. Like...
Yes, that
I think
much
there's
is
something.
clear.
I think I'm not getting something. Let's get back to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Certainly, but by carrying that out, you would probably be praised as a good witch. However, the new Beatrice-sama already views you as hostile, lady. If you were to be seen by her again, you would not have any method of escape this time. And no, I'm not laying down my life for you. Sorry.
That's fair.
I thought I'd let you know up front. So that way you could understand what the score was between us. Unlike Virgilia, I do not have that kind of affection for you. I like snickerdoodles more. If you were snickerdoodle, I might consider it.
When I reunited George and Shannon, I finally understood what a witch is. And what magic is.
I don't know if I buy that, because clearly she's been quite successful at being a witch and using magic for a long time.
And she's been quite successful at using magic to do stuff, but not necessarily to use it correctly.
Correctly by what standard, though? I mean...
Maybe it's not meant for taking lives.
So, she... like, I don't disagree with the sentiment here. I just feel like it's a little bit... I don't know.
If you kill someone
Yep.
with a hammer,
Yep.
that doesn't make you a good carpenter. It doesn't make you great at using a hammer. You're just a murderer.
That's a good way of phrasing it, actually, yeah.
Same here. If you're great at tearing people apart with magic, doesn't necessarily make you a witch. Maybe it just makes you a murderer.
It just makes you a murderer. If you're good at killing a lot of people, it doesn't make this. Wow, I almost spoiled the ending of an anime. That's the moral of.
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure everyone's watched that one, but just in case you haven't.
I am a witch. I must act as a witch. And I must be acknowledged as Battler's opponent, and make Battler accept me as a witch this time around. The road to that goal may be long and difficult.
Well, I hope not. We seem to be wrapping up on this chapter.
I don't know, I think it'll be long and difficult. I think maybe it's a multi-chapter thing.
Oh,
However,
fuck.
if I do not take a step forward here and now, I won't be able to call myself a witch.
I understand your feelings, but how do you plan to rescue her? There are not many forms of magic that your body is capable of now, milady. Did you not have to borrow George's power even back when you revived Shun?
Indeed, I kind of figured that by the time we were done this conversation, I would have had an idea.
Oh, I get it. Stalling for I do it all the time. Makes perfect sense.
And for that very reason, I may be able to save Jessica. Right now, she is begging for Cannon to save her. If I can borrow the power of that emotion, my magic may be able to knock on the doors of the land of the dead once again.
You may be able to knock. However, you would use up all your magical energy. If you were to be spotted by the new Sama, you would truly be without method of escape. I am no longer in your butler, milady. Understand that I cannot assist you if the situation worsens.
I know. By now, I have toyed with and taken more lives than I can count, so
54,347.
that's not a real number. So I may not be able to make up for it, except by saving the same number of lives, bringing them through that door.
Why, you having a hard time counting it on your fingers? I can make that easier for you.
Oh yeah, that'd be super helpful. Let's talk about that later.
Let me make it so you can count that number on your fingers. Just start spidering outwards. Okay, sorry.
I have had nothing to lose in the first place. I am just a gold butterfly who has passed its name and magic power on, and who is no longer acknowledged as a witch.
What about Battler Sama? You are partway through a game with him. He has said that he would wait until you returned. Are you truly satisfied to end it here? You have a duty to return to the seat across from Battler Sama, milady.
For that very reason, if there's a life that only I can save, I will save it. And I will be accepted as a witch. I must become a witch. If this is training, it is a very childish thing, nothing that compares with the evils I have committed before now. Vanish, Ronabe. Watch what may be the final magic of a single butterfly who used to be called a witch.
Oh, alright, I'll be over here. Certainly. Please show me magic. That will not disgrace the name of the Golden Witch. And I pray that it is not your final spell.
Go, my friend. If you can find enough ink, write down the story of my foolish life, and hand it over to some fool who is about to walk down the same path.
Oh, like, do you have a name?
I don't know.
What that would be, what if I were to write it down?
Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but actually, Umineko, When They Cry, specifically that.
Umineko, When They Cry.
Make sure it's 8 chapters long.
Umineko, When They Cry. Okay. Did I miss anything else?
8 chapters.
We only have enough stuff here for maybe like 3.
There'll be enough for 8. So long, Ronabe.
Oh, toodles. I'll just delete your number from my cell phone now and save myself the trouble. So what's she gonna do?
Is Beato gonna die in chapter 3? Are you right about that?
Beato's gonna fucking die and get replaced by new Beato.
I think that's,
Jessica?
Is that Jessica? Okay. Cannon-kun, where are you? Where are you? Help me, help me. Ah.
Milady, I'm always there by your side.
Cannon-kun? Cannon-kun?
It seemed to Jessica as though she had heard Cannon's voice just then. She looked around with unseeing eyes, but of course she saw nothing. On the contrary, that action caused her head to hit the desk again.
I need a screenshot of that line cropped out. That action caused her head to hit the desk again. I could use that a lot at work.
That makes me hit the desk!
Cannon-kun, Cannon-kun, help me. Help me.
Yes, milady. I will help you.
Cannon-kun? You survived?
This time she thought she heard his voice clearly. Jessica jumped up in surprise, banging her head against the desk once again. Milady, please calm your heart and listen. Unfortunately, I am not alive.
Huh?
I'm fucking dead. I've already died. However, that witch came to tell me of your peril. And she gave me just a little bit of time that I could save you, milady. Please, calm your heart even more. If you do, my form will become visible even to you, milady. Jessica obeyed these words. She had chased all idle thoughts from her head and relaxed her breathing. Of course, her heart felt like it was going to explode after hearing the voice of the one she'd liked and had thought was dead. She resisted the excitement with all her strength. Oh, bloody hell, I'm alive again. Fuck. When she did, she felt as though Cannon-kun really was right in front of her. Even though she shouldn't have been able to see him with her eyes, she was able to sense him clearly.
It's like that one movie. Where we're going, we won't need eyes to see.
Well, okay.
It's exactly like that one movie.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah. I can see. I can definitely see you, Cannon-kun.
I exist only as a soul now. So I cannot touch you, milady. I cannot do anything except talk to you like this. In my current weak existence, I can do nothing more than that, but I should be able to be of some aid to you, milady.
So, we can only talk? I can't touch you, Cannon-kun?
I am now more fragile than smoke from a candle. So much that if one living thing such as you were to touch me, it would be wiped away instantly. So please do not try to touch me, because I am also holding back my desire to touch you, milady.
Okay.
More importantly, milady, please listen well. The new Golden Witch has a cruel heart. She surely plans to make you meet with a horrible fate. You must escape from this room and hide.
How? I can't see anything.
Shh. Quiet. I will be your eyes, milady. Please move in accordance with my instructions. First, please crawl 3 steps from there, then stand up. You are now under the desk, milady. If you stand there, you'll hit your head.
That was under the desk? Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna stand.
Well done. Next, please turn to face towards 9 o'clock. Yes, well done.
Ha ha ha. This is pretty embarrassing. Ow.
Are you okay? Does your wound hurt?
No, I'm fine. What next?
Jessica thought that if this was a dream, she didn't want to wake up. And if she were allowed to, she would have wanted to take off the bandage covering her eyes and see him. However, if she did that, Cannon might vanish like a frail candle smoke, just like he himself had said. She was afraid of that. So she satisfied herself with just listening to his words once more, repressing her desire to see him, to hold him. Therefore, what hurt her eyes now were tears of gratitude. Tears of gratitude for the god, or maybe the witch, who had given her this miraculous moment.
Is this okay? If we keep talking like this, won't we be noticed by her? Won't our voices be heard?
I have erected a secrecy barrier. As long as we don't make any loud sounds or speak noisily, no one will notice us. That's why people can't tell when I'm around.
I don't really get it, but...
Cannon really does, like, shadow step his way around, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll be fine as long as we stay quiet, right? What should I do next?
Please walk 10 steps in that direction. You will touch the sofa. Please continue along that. Do it slowly. Stay calm. Believe in my words.
Sure.
Would this be better if I sounded like Morpheus?
Not really.
You sure? I've always wanted to do that bit.
I mean...
Could you pretend you're holding a cell phone?
A what?
Oh, right, they don't have future movies and... Okay, never mind.
It's weird. Even though it's so scary not being able to see, I'm not scared at all if you're with me, Canon-kun.
Yes, that is the sofa. Trace it to the left while advancing slowly. There's a table just to your left. Be careful not to bump into it with your shins. It was a very strange and bizarre team effort. Even though she would have been killed in an instant if the terrible witch noticed her, there was no fear in Jessica's heart. She was being protected and guided by Canon, someone she thought she'd never be reunited with. It would probably be just a momentary miracle. Even so, Jessica was deeply grateful for it. If she hoped for too much, she was sure that he would disappear, and so she tried not to ruin this faint miracle. And trying to engrave this moment into her heart for all eternity, she slowly continued to walk, obeying Canon's voice. Okay, if you walk 10 more steps, you will exit the servant room. Then please turn to face 9 o'clock and keep walking very slow. Put your hand on the wall to your right and keep following that. I will take you to a safe room.
If I go there, will you leave, Canon-kun?
Canon didn't answer, but his lack of answer was enough to tell her the truth.
Then no way. I don't want to go.
If you stay here, you will be killed by the witch.
I don't mind. If I'm killed, I can go to the world where you are, Canon-kun.
Milady, please listen to me. The human world is too bright and painful for the dead like me, so I cannot stay for long. So, milady, please allow me to use what time I am allowed to guide you to a safe place. Because after that, I will stay with you until my time runs out.
Is that the very best you can manage, Canon-kun?
You are fucking picky, you know that? Yes. In exchange, I will stay by your side as long as possible. I will stay with you and talk with you, milady.
Talk about what?
What do you want to talk about?
I don't care what, just as long as you're willing to tell me, Canon-kun.
Well then, allow me to tell you the plot of the 2001 movie The Matrix, directed by the Wachowskis. Actually, you'd probably like that movie. It has a lot of... That's not really the point. I will tell you the story of a cowardly servant boy who lacked all courage. The story of a foolish and pitiful boy who fell in love with a young lady as radiant as the sun. Even when the lady confessed those same feelings to him, he lost to his cowardice and was never able to be honest with his feelings while he still lived.
Yes, then I want to tell you a story too. It's the story of a cowardly girl who couldn't muster the courage to tell the boy she loved how she felt, much, much more often. The story of how that girl, after being reunited with that boy by a miracle from God, used that chance to finally muster up her courage.
I also want to hear that one. So for that reason as well, let us go to a safe place.
Yeah. If I could be with you, Canon-kun, I would walk however far, however long it took. I don't need eyes anymore. If you tell me to step forward, I will take that step, even if it leads off a cliff.
Well, don't do that. Instead, you might want to try leaping. As if you were leaping between two tall okay. Thank you. Come, milady. Let us go. The first 10 steps.
No, I don't like it. I won't do it, unless you call me Jessica.
Understood. Well then, Jessica, take the first 10 steps.
Yes, Canon-kun.
Very quietly, Jessica and Canon slowly snuck out of the servant room. Just around the corner, the witch could be seen cruelly looking down at Nanjo's corpse, but she didn't even notice their presence. However, Ronove, who stood at the ready by her side, met Canon's eyes. Canon thought, oh no, grimacing and blocking Jessica with his back. However, Ronove did not inform his master. He played dumb, just as though he hadn't spotted Canon in the first place. No, maybe he did appear to chuckle. From a finger on Runaways' hands, which were joined behind his back, a single small gold butterfly appeared, flying in front of Cannon as though guiding him. It went unnoticed by the master he served. Cannon was surprised at the magic that butterfly held, because it was far more powerful than the secrecy barrier Cannon possessed. He may not have known it, but that power of his had originally been Runaways. Cannon's ability was an imitation of that which Kinzo had made and given to him. As that butterfly of secrecy magic scattered gold scales, it grew smaller bit by bit. Probably wouldn't last long, but without a doubt, even that would buy them enough time to get them far away from the cruel witch. Okay, milady, let's follow that wall and keep walking. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, if I can be with you, Cannon-kun, I'll keep on going, on and on.
Just remember, there are 2 ways out of this building, and one of them lies in her custody. Okay, no, you know what? Okay, we'll put that one aside for now. Led and protected by the small gold butterfly, the pair, separated by the wall of life and death, slowly walked away towards the end of the corridor. There was no way that the evil witch could have magic to notice their flight. Until they disappeared at the other end of the corridor, the witch didn't realize that Jessica had vanished. By the time the gold butterfly Ronave had sent evaporated completely, Jessica had reached the parlor. Even though it would have been a quick trip if she'd been able to see, as she was now, it had been a very long adventure. Come, milady. We've reached the parlor. I will now take you to the bundle of curtains by the window. If you hide in there, you'll surely be safe.
Inside the curtains? Not bad. I used to hide in there a lot long ago.
Beatrice-sama.
Huh?
Cannon called out the witch's name. Jessica looked around in surprise, but she obviously couldn't spot the witch when she couldn't see. Beto had appeared once again with a faint form. Cannon squared off against the figure of the evil witch, but Beto's expression was soft, or even pitying. I don't know what sort of whim led you to revive me, nor do I understand what you're thinking now.
Oh, it was nothing more than a whim. No, this is how wishes should be. It took me 1,000 years to realize that. That is how foolish it is. Who is it? Who's there?
Milady, be quiet. She's the witch Beatrice. I owe her, because she let me be with you one more time.
The witch Beatrice? Forget about me. More importantly, you should quickly hide that girl in the shadows of the curtains. You probably do not have much time left. You may spend it having a final conversation with Jessica. A secret meeting inside a bunch of curtains? How clever you two are. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you for letting me be with Cannon-kun.
Jessica didn't know where Beto was, so she said that while facing in the wrong direction. Perhaps because she found that funny, Beto snickered.
I will now leave this room to the pair of lovers. Evil witches have no need for tales of love. Allow me to depart.
Beatrice-sama, thank you very much.
There is no need to thank me. You know that something like this cannot compensate for all the evil I've done.
I offer my gratitude to this good witch as a parting gift. I don't know what has happened before or what will happen later. However, at this very moment, you are without a doubt a good witch.
You flatter me, Furniture. The next time we meet, I may be an evil witch who doesn't betray your expectations. And with that, farewell.
Beato left the parlor and closed the door, and mustering the last of her remaining magical power, she sealed the door. The fact that those two had escaped into here would eventually be noticed. Now that the ninth twilight had been reached, no matter how much they struggled, their inescapable fate had already been decided. However, until that final moment, they should be able to be given the chance to speak with each other of their love. The witch poured out all of her magical power to protect their time together, so that no one could be able to defile their time alone until the last possible moment. At that time, Beato noticed something. Her body had been detected by a magical searching technique. The evil witch's furniture had sniffed this place out.
So, boorishness is the witch's way of doing things after all. To think that she doesn't even intend to let those two young ones speak together of their love.
Okay, we don't have much time, so the film opens on a rain of green code.
What? Code?
Oh, bloody hell.
45. Data received. Checking target. Confirmed as the predecessor, Lady Beatrice. Analyzing parlor defensive wall. 72 layered, multi-defensive wall, attack-proof barrier, and anti-magic armor. Sniping into the parlor will be impossible. Data link to 410. 410. Data received. Then we've just gotta... censored the predecessor Sama first. Yeah.
What?
We've seen that before.
In this game?
Yes.
When did it happen in this game?
I don't remember. I think it was all the way back in chapter 1. We've seen it before, where a word that was presumably kill was instead censored.
Yes. And
I think we may have, or was it presumably love and was censored? I don't remember what.
yeah, it was this game, right?
We've absolutely seen it in this game at least once, possibly multiple times.
Because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that reminds me of a thing that we saw. It's been so long playing this game that I'm...
Yeah, it was this game. Great Lady Beatrice, your firing permission, please.
Go ahead and shoot. Oh, and avoid her vital areas, though. Here's something I want to ask that old hag.
410, firing.
The Chester sisters' gold bow released a gold snake. It crawled down the corridor, starting from the front of the servant room, aiming for the parlor as it drew a soft, snake-like curved line trajectory. And pierced Beato's chest.
God.
Gold butterflies gathered, and the cruel witch appeared along with her furniture. Predecessor Sama, no further obstructions will be permitted.
I didn't think they would be. Still, the Chester sisters really have gotten rusty. To think that they failed to bring me down, and twice at that.
One of a spoken a matter befitting of the witch's butler. I see she pushed her pain aside. Beato grinned and spoke back.
My apologies, Predecessor Sama. We were ordered to avoid vital areas. As soon as we get the order, we can pierce you at any time. We can pierce a hole in your ears, a hole in your belly button, any hole you like.
The gold snake that had pierced Beatrice grew even longer, drawing a funnel-shaped helix and awaiting its next order. It was prepared to pierce a vital spot as soon as the evil witch told it to.
For what reason would someone like you, who is no less brutal than I, make them avoid my vital areas? New Beatrice.
Yep, that's me. I wanted to ask you something. I don't know what kind of trick you used to escape, but we thought we took you out, right? Why is it even though you could have escaped by hiding, you took the risk of appearing again? It can't be that you came back just to protect those two young people, right?
Well, who knows?
Oh, and just a second ago, why didn't you do something as soft as reviving lovers and reuniting them? The more I hear about you, the more I learn that I don't even reach up to your feet as an incarnation of evil. If you're like that, why did you suddenly start acting so mildly? That's what I wanted to ask.
I am brutal, therefore I am fickle. What purpose could questioning that possibly serve?
Just your sisters, so her.
When she ordered that, the gold snake that was curled in a helix suspended in space moved as fast as a real snake going after its prey, and pierced Beato's body multiple times from both sides, its gold tail drawing an X shape. As the cruel witch had ordered, it drew a cross-stitch through Beato's chest. The gold thread made a squeaking sound and tormented Beato. Rather than a gold snake searching for its prey, it waited for orders like a sewing needle ready to sew Beato.
If it's you we're talking about, there's no way it could have been a whim. I've heard about you, and I've learned. You're such an incarnation of evil that I don't even rise up to your feet. I thought I was truly a fitting successor to you, but you've always been in the way. You always say warm, pleasant things that shock me. What changed you? Explored the depths of evil for 1,000 years, and I let you live because I wanted to know what happened to make you change so much.
If you really want to know, then I suggest you waste 1,000 years as well.
So,
Beato's chest was once again sewn with a golden cross stitch. It tightened again, squeezing fresh blood from Beato's chest. The intense pain it caused ran in conflict with its beauty to the eye.
you might be one of those things that disappear when they die and don't leave a corpse. So, I'll kill you slowly. But if you answer my questions honestly, I'll let you die easily. I'll give you a splendid, gorgeous death, perfect for my predecessor, Sama. I'll sink you in a coffin filled with water and roses. Isn't that wonderful? And you still won't talk? How about the reason for your change of heart?
Not answering when she is asked is another one of an evil witch's pleasures.
Oh, so, twice. Of course, you don't have to answer. After all, that way I get to torture you. The endless magic truly is wonderful. When you think about it, this world is limited in every way. The endless cannot exist in the human world. Because gods are without limits, the human world is deprived of all limitlessness, but they can be looked down upon. So in other words, this endless power is the power of the gods. A wonderful power where the more you play with it, the more fun ways of playing you find. Use that power as you please for 1,000 years and went on a rampage. Why are you having a change of heart only now? You're not going to say you regret handing it over to me, are you? Well, what are you going to say?
How could I regret it? The endless magic you believe in is no magic at all. True magic lies in a deep abyss that you most certainly cannot reach.
And this is what you realized? Then what is it?
Wander about for 1,000 years without realizing, foolish witch.
So, 3 times this time.
Beato's chest had been embroidered with the gold thread. It tightened even more, causing Beato more and more pain.
Well, that's fine. I'm no longer curious about what kind of revelations an old hag who refuses to die might have had. I'm bored now, so I'll just kill you. If I do, the barrier of the power will dissolve. And I'll torture Cannon and Jessica to death a whole bunch of times. Being able to have 2 lovers as my toys at the same time sounds pretty fun, right? Meh. Killer.
Without missing by a millimeter, the gold sewing thread shot through Beato's heart. That intense pain was worse than all of the pain before that put together. Beato finally remembered the actual feeling of dying, which he had forgotten over the course of 1,000 years. But she couldn't die. She must not die. If she died, it would mean handing over the 2 in the parlor to the cruel witch. So she definitely couldn't die. She resolutely refused to die.
New Beatrice, I have a request. The lovers' meeting between the 2 in the parlor will not last long. In the amount of time an hourglass can measure, Cannon will probably vanish into the land of the dead. Would you please allow them at least that much time?
Nope. Isn't tearing apart 2 who love each other a lot of fun? You said it yourself, so why want to try it?
In that case, I mustn't allow you that pleasure. Yes, it can be fun, tearing apart lovers.
Oh, really? I'm sure it is fun. So don't get in my way, okay? So more. So.
410, understood.
Like 410. Still not as good as 420, though. Hey, this goes up on 419. It's almost 420.
Got him.
Got him. The merciless goad. Help me. The merciless gold sewing needle sewed the gold thread through Beato's heart over and over again. However, no matter how much it tightened, that heart did not stop.
This isn't nearly enough. I won't die by something like this.
What are you doing? Make this old hag shut up, please. Kill her quickly.
We're killing her. Even though we've sewn her heart in place several times, this person's heart won't stop.
Are you immortal?
Of course not. I've handed the endless over to you. My heart will not beat many more times. However, if by making it beat just once more, I can give the two in this room a bit more time, I'll continue that resistance for all eternity.
So, keep sewing until her heart stops moving. How you doing?
Not great, let's be real. Why doesn't she die? It's impossible. Why isn't her heart stopping? Even though it's been sewn in place. Who cares? We'll make the heart explode from the inside, yeah. How pitiful. And you could have died cleanly if you hadn't resisted us.
As they said that, even though the golden needle and thread made round trips over and over again, Beato still didn't die. The cruel witch eventually grew pale at how bizarre that was.
What in the world are you?
You probably cannot understand. Even I didn't understand. And yet, somehow or another, it seems that this is true magic. In other words, I have now become it. I have become a true witch.
No!
Fixing explosion center in heart interior.
Not the 5-point exploding Paul Mark technique.
Fuse preparations ready. Explode!
Oh no, they're going to kill her. Oh, and she's dead.
There was a terrible sound, and gold leaf was scattered around the area, along with a cloud of gold butterflies. Beato's chest had opened wide from the inside, and from that gold butterflies and gold leaf poured out, staining the surrounding area gold. Then Beato's flesh crumpled. Like a puppet whose strings had been cut, she crouched down and crumpled. However, a gold heart tied by gold threads floated in the air and continued to beat.
What the? Ah! Monster!
When the Chester sisters saw that, they fell down on their butts in shock. But, even though Beato had become nothing more than a heart, it still kept beating, continuing to protect the barrier to the parlor. It was an immeasurably vast magical power, impossible to measure. In other words, endless.
Okay, bull fucking shit. I'm the endless witch, right? Why is this old hag still alive after all of this? Chester sisters, smash that heart, quickly!
It's impossible. My apologies. We can't do it.
Indeed, it probably will be impossible. No number of people could crush that heart. And certainly not the soldiers who serve under His Highness the Dragon King.
In that case, the endless witch like me should be able to crush it, right? My power is that of a god.
I'm afraid to say that your power cannot leave a single wound on the endless of Beatrice Sama.
Just what do you mean by that? Also, it's my name now. She can't take it back. No backsies.
Just as there can be no light without knowledge of the shadows, there can be no infinite without knowledge of the finite. Before Milady Beatrice's true endless power, your frail magic is quite lacking.
What is that?
The cruel witch was surprised and stepped back. It was thinner than a lace curtain, but Beato's form, no, Beatrice's form, was still standing there. Even after being laid bare so tragically like this, she still refused to let evil through that door. At that time, a shadow just as thin as Beatrice stood behind her. It was Canon. It's all right, Beato. We got up to the Animatrix now, and I think we're almost done. Beatrice Sama, thank you so very much. I won't forget what you've done for us.
I'll hear the words of yours, those words of yours, once the number of my blessings has surpassed the number of grievances I've caused.
So it turns out morality doesn't work like that, and there's no, ledger that you have to... You know what? That's for a different time.
I am just having the most confusing fucking day. Jesus. Was that long enough, at least?
Yes, truly, thank you very much. So just as long as I don't make a fourth movie or something, then I think we'll be good. And Beatrice-sama, you've also done enough. Please, be at peace.
Is that so? Is this enough?
What's going on? Why are you guys calling that old hag Beatrice? Beatrice is my name, right? I got it. It's mine now. No take backsies. It's gotta be since I'm the new Golden Witch and Endless Witch.
How rude. How dare you claim Beatrice-sama's name?
I am afraid to say that the name of Beatrice-sama belongs to the once crowned as the Endless Witch. Right now, you are the predecessor.
What? What did you say?
Farewell, Canon. I'm sure I'll see you soon enough. In a new nightmare.
Oh, I'm out of here. In the nightmare of a new night, I will once again be your companion, Beatrice-sama. With that, if you would excuse me. Cannon's form grew faint, and he disappeared into thin air. After watching him go, Beatrice's form also grew faint, and before disappearing, it slumped over onto the door. Then there was a splat. The golden heart that had been floating in midair lost its sparkle, became blood-stained flesh, and fell to the ground. How frail it was. It was ragged and full of holes, but until a moment ago it had sparkled so much, it continued to beat so forcefully. That heart still just barely managed to beat. However, it was only a matter of time left before it stopped. Beatrice, whose form had become fragile and faint like incense smoke, lay on the floor, steadily watching her own heart. There the cruel witch could be seen.
What do you mean endless? Aren't you actually collapsed in a heap right over there? That seems like... How can there be a finite infinity? It's a contradiction, bitch. Could it exist? This is the limit of your magic. The endless is better than the finite.
Beatrice no longer even had the will to respond. No, on the contrary, it was doubtful that the words of the cruel witch even reached her ears.
If you're a real endless witch, try standing up. How's it going? You can't stand, can you? Why don't you think you can stand? Huh? Because you aren't the endless witch, bitch.
The cruel witch poked Beatrice's heart with her fingernail. Beatrice had no words with which to respond to that provocation. However, instead of words, she returned a single expression. It felt humiliating only to the cruel witch, because she had gently curved her mouth and smiled. Footsteps were approaching that place. There was no way she had misheard it. That rough squeaking of heels was the sound of Battler's footsteps.
Battler, is it? After talking so tough, I ended up like this.
I'm back, bitch.
I've been trying to become the true witch you talked about, in my own way.
Yeah, I was watching.
Hey, have I been able to become a witch? Have I earned the right to become your opponent?
It's useless. Battler said it unbelievably bluntly. As Beatrice breathed painfully, she saw this and sneered at herself as though she should have expected it.
I see. Yes, the road to becoming a true witch will be much, much longer than this. However, I will not surrender. Just like you never surrendered to my torture. I will definitely become a true witch and be accepted as your opponent.
Yeah, it's useless. It's all useless. You aren't my opponent. The cruel witch raised her foot high. Below it was Beatrice's frail heart.
Die, you old hag. Let's see how endless you are when you've been crushed to a pulp. I'm the witch, bitch. I'm the golden witch, Beatrice. That's me. It's me. Die. Die, motherfucker. Die.
It's useless. It's all useless.
What? What is this? Where is this? What are we doing here? Who are you? What? Who are you people?
Get in your seat. Beato isn't my opponent.
Haha!
You are.
Battler? What the fuck is going on here? What kind of magic is this? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Chester sisters!
45, understood, attacking everywhere. 410, understood, die, battler.
The Chester sisters each readied their own golden bows and fired golden arrows. The two only pulled the bowstring together when they were using precision guidance. They're fighting against an enemy before their eyes. They fired their bows at the same time. Their might did not suffer in the slightest. Damn, Battler? Powerful magician or what?
It was deflected.
Battler? What the fuck are you doing, mate?
There's no barrier. It was deflected by resistance alone. 45, target analysis. 45, understood. Huh, what? Did I break down? Am I insane? Anti-magic resistance power, endless 9. Even mythical class magical attacks won't be effective against the target.
Oh, it's just because he doesn't believe so fucking hard. Golden bow warheads could penetrate any magical armor through reciprocal corrosion. When one tried to block them with anti-magic resistance power, even 8 digits were not sufficient to prevent their penetration. By the way, even famous gods that appear in myths rarely reach as high as 9 digits. For that reason, 9 digits were enough to measure pretty much all sensible values. Battler had buried all 9 of those digits with 9s.
He's so enlightened by his own intellect.
In this moment, I'm enlightened, but
Exactly.
hold on, can we get that one? What is it? I need to do that one right. Let's get it. Let's get it. Hold on. In this moment,
I am euphoric.
yeah.
It'll show up with euphoric.
In this,
You'll need to add the euphoric.
I'll need the right because no one cares about this.
There we go.
Here we go. In this moment, I am euphoric. Not because of any phony god's blessing, but because I am enlightened by my intelligence. Thanks, Battler. How foolish. When Battler Sama gets serious, magical arrows and the like aren't enough to even make his hair tremble. The Chester sisters dropped their golden bows in shock. To Battler himself, it was as though a pair of dragonflies had flown past his shoulder. Anyway, Runaway, how are those snickerdoodles coming? What are you doing? Is that some kind of game?
Monster!
Stay back, small fries! Get in your seat, fake witch! I'll tear off that mask of yours.
Ah!
Objection, motherfucker! The Chester sisters couldn't hide their fear at Battler's ferocity, and they backed up as though they'd been struck. Beatrice watched the scene in shock.
Battler? What is this supposed to be?
Just like you see, you aren't my opponent. She is. That imposter over there who's using your name. Hold it! I'm fighting against a witch. If I face off against an opponent who claims to be witch, and I deny a witch is by defeating them. I've seen more than enough of your arrogance. Then Battler's eyes grew as sharp as blades as he stared down the cruel witch. What are you calling magic? What are you calling witches? You're no witch. You're just a bitch. Nailed it. Got him, Banto.
Got him.
Boom. I'll rip that mask off and tear it to shreds. Virgilia, get ready to fight.
Understood. Preparations are complete, so go whenever you're ready. Beatrice, stay back and rest. Indeed?
Beato looked at Battler timidly. She still hadn't been acknowledged as his opponent, while she was qualified to watch the game board from the sidelines. Beato, stay back and watch. I'll tear it off. I'll thoroughly dismantle this fake witch. I won't let someone like this call themselves a witch. You protected the honor of true witches. You don't need to say anything. On your behalf, I'll teach her the name of the Golden Witch. Definitely isn't that cheap.
Battler!
I mean, we could have avoided this if you'd used 73 barriers, but you know what? That's not really the point right now. Those are the general rules.
Thank you, Ronave. I get most of the rules now. I see. You can't win with magic, so you came to face me off in a world where victory is decided by something other than magic. Foolish people. Do you really think you can win against me with this twisted logic? Did I really commit to doing this voice for another five chapters? I thought this was going to be a one-chapter thing. Maybe oh no.
Uh-oh.
Fuck! And that was gonna be me talking about. Oh my god!
Okay.
You're gonna need to take Avatris at this rate.
Okay, but here's the thing. Will it?
I don't know. If it turns out that way, you take Avatris.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I'll crush all of your twisted logic, Aunt Ava.
I'm not Ava. That's the name of the old shell I shed. Didn't you see it? I'm a true witch, born inside of her.
Don't try to trick me. Your true form isn't a witch or anything like it, but a flesh and blood human. The human culprit, Usharomia Ava. Virgilia, reconstruct the second Twilight.
Understood. On the second Twilight, Rosa and Maria were killed in the Rose Garden. We begin by applying the Ava culprit theory for that case.
Huh? Ridiculous. Come on, arise, try to remember. What form did Usharomia Hideyoshi have?
What? What's this supposed to be?
It's the summoning of the dead. A witch can easily bring even the dead up to the stand for testimony.
And who's Hideyoshi gonna say killed him, huh? On the opposing side, a transparent Uncle Hideyoshi was summoned. Talk about convenient. He looked as though he couldn't see what was going on here, almost like a person on the other side of the TV.
Witness summons. Usharomia Hideyoshi's testimony. Come, Hideyoshi, speak.
I was taking care of Ava in our room the whole time. Of course, Ava didn't leave the room.
Oh, Aunt Ava, around here testimony that isn't read isn't worth crap. I demand he repeats it again in red.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sure, say it in red.
I was in the room the whole time. Well, the whole stretch of time surrounding the crime.
See? Look, this makes it impossible for Eva to be the culprit, right? Oh, you counter this?
He just said it was him. Re-fucking-diculous. That move's so bad I could yawn. Beato never used such childish tricks, not even once.
Battler.
Repeat it! Aunt Ava was also in the room for the whole stretch of time surrounding the crime. Uncle Hideyoshi was just there to create an alibi. You made him stay in the room and stealthily snuck out. If that isn't true, this guy should be able to say so in red.
What? No, I refuse to repeat it. Hideyoshi's evidence is sufficient. There's no need for me to repeat that, right?
She has refused. You need show no mercy. This is check.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it. This opponent's slow. Check! Maybe Uncle Hideyoshi didn't leave the room the whole time, but saying he was taking care of you the whole time is a bright red lie. Therefore, no alibi exists for you. You had a chance to slip out of the room and kill Aunt Rosa and Maria. If you think you could dodge that, try proclaiming in red that Aunt Ava didn't take a step outside of her room. You can't do it, right? Checkmate.
What in the hell? What are you all do? Do you just sit around here masturbating to these weird kind of logical traps all day long?
Yes?
Do any of you have, like, friends? Okay, you know what? We're gonna unpack all this at a different time. What the hell? I don't get it.
Sorry, Aunt Ava. Even if you are used to the rules, beating your opponent down with all your strength is how this game is played. Right, Beato?
Indeed.
Shut up. You get one word.
Indeed.
Good. The witch side resigns, it would seem. Let us continue on to the next game. Next is the 4th through 6th Twilights. It seemed that the witch still didn't understand how to make a winning move, and she lost her composure and irritation. She was probably also angry that a shot had been taken at her while she still didn't get what was going on. However, I won't go easy on her at all. Just like she didn't go easy on the victims at all, I won't go easy on her. Virgilia, next crime! Let's reconstruct the case with Dad and the rest.
Understood. 3 people, Rudolph, Kyrie, and Hideyoshi, went to the mansion and were killed there.
Oh, my move won't change. Aunt Ava, you were the culprit. This time you don't even have an alibi from Uncle Hideyoshi. You claim that you were sleeping in that room all by yourself. But that's not true. If you can proclaim it in red, just try it.
I refuse. This is stupid. So tell me. Ava's just a woman. And the people who died were 3 adults with 2 guns, right? How did she kill them all by herself? How did she do it with those stakes as weapons? Like everyone keeps asking, how is this stake shooting device constructed? Explain that, bitch! It's gonna explain it even if Ava doesn't have an alibi. That doesn't mean it was possible for her to commit the murders.
Oh, this is gonna be like piece of cake, holy shit. I refuse to explain. It's a devil's proof. Just because I can't explain it, that doesn't deny the existence of an unknown murder technique, or maybe an unknown weapon. In short, even if I can't explain how the stake shooting device is constructed, that doesn't prove that it doesn't exist, bench.
What? What the hell? Does that ridiculousness even count? What the hell are you all doing in here anyway? This is like... this isn't even like helpful. This is just... like a bunch of you just trying to show off to each other and waggle and see who's got the biggest dick.
Your devil's proof is valid.
Agreed. It's a valid devil's proof. Battler-kun can claim that a stake shooting device exists without bearing the responsibility of explaining how it's constructed. The witch side cannot object to this move. Not bad. How pushy.
Well, there's this ill-natured witch who trained me well. This is check, okay? Try saying in red that Aunt Ava didn't take a step out of that room. That's right, you shouldn't be able to say it. If you can't say it, it's over. Checkmate.
What the fuck is even going on here? This is so irrational. This is messed up. This isn't even real logic. This is just like a bunch of people sitting around trying to...
Those are the rules of this game. How about some black tea first? Snickerdoodle? It comes served in a box. And some delicious cookies as well. The other cookies don't come in a box, it's just the one, Snickerdoodle.
I don't need all of that. What the fuck are you... This pisses me off so fucking much. So you fight like a coward just because you can't win with magic? Is that it?
Don't get irritated. Drink some black tea or something. Kick your feet up on the chair. Maybe play some of the Nintendo Switch. Bernie's been learning how to modify controllers on her own, so I think she's fixed out the Joy-Con drift at this point. Would you like to play some Mario Kart?
What? What's a Mario?
I'll take mine straight, thank you. What about you, Beto?
I'm fine. More importantly, Battler, don't let your guard down. Your opponent is only unfamiliar with the rules. This will only really start once your opponent gets the gist of it.
Oh, but I will crush her. I'll thoroughly crush her. Because she isn't a witch. If I accept her as a witch, all your stubbornness will count for nothing. I don't care what kind of irrational argument or twisted logic I have to use. I'll crush her with all my heart and soul. Battler's side then struck with the Ava culprit theory to explain Kraus and Natsuhi, the 7th and 8th Twilights, in the exact same way. At the time, there had been no one on the first floor except for Ava and the victims. Before, no one could establish an alibi for Ava. Back then, Ava had claimed that they disappeared while she went to the bathroom, but there was nothing to support that, and the witch's side couldn't repeat it in red either. using the same style of argument as that question regarding the stake shooting machine. The witch side asked once more how Eva could have strangled both of them at the same time all by herself. But of course, Battler splendidly counterattacked by refusing to explain because of the devil's proof. Under the storm and stress of Battler's spirit, the witch's side was completely swallowed up, having to resign 3 times during the short period of time she had to grasp the rules. Do you want me to pull up the WikiHow article?
Oh, I see. I'm finally starting to get the knack of it. I won't let you have things your own way anymore. This time, let me take the initiative. Renovate and reconstruct the 4 through 6 twilights, please. Thank you. Pick out Ushirome Kyrie. For now, let me return to the murders of Rudolph Kyrie and Hideyoshi during the 4 through 6 twilights.
Oh, what is she thinking? Why would she return once more to a situation where she's lost? I see. This is an unusual attack, and one you do not use. Be careful.
At the time, the survivors were barricaded in the guest house. They didn't have food, but out of concern for their safety, they were at least prepared to go without eating until the next day. However, in the end, 3 of them did go out for food.
That's right. In the end, 3 people went outside to get food.
It's a pain, so I'll add in some red and say it. Kyrie didn't think they needed food. Since going without food for a day wouldn't kill them, she claimed that they should not leave the guest house.
But decided to, and yet
she herself suggested that they leave the guest house to go get food. Isn't that a contradiction?
Yep, a spectacular contradiction. We're really doing this. We're really doing
It's
this.
Ace Attorney.
Yep, they're pointing out the contradictions. A contradiction exists in Kyrie's pattern of behavior.
That contradiction was created by me with magic. In other words, I controlled Kyrie using magic and made her say that to lure out the sacrifices outside. I learned that one by playing a little game called Ace Attorney.
Ridiculous. There's no way that kind of magic exists.
It's a devil's proof, right? Just because you don't know about that magic doesn't deny its existence. I don't bear the responsibility of acting out that magic for you. You have even less room to counter this argument. I wonder if it's okay to fight this way.
Yes. It is truly a spectacular move. Battler-sama, your response, if you please.
That's a weird strategy she's taking. So, what's this? You just sit here and point out contradictions? How's that supposed to prove anything? Oh, why would that ever be successful?
She is placed a piece, attacking Ushirome Kyrie's pattern of behavior. As has already been explained, Kyrie's pattern of behavior had her saying that they should not go outside or head to the mansion in order to get food.
I'm glad they found a way to work in this particular bit where they are fighting with contradictions, because that's a good little nod.
And also that Kyrie's behavior came up again.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And yet, she herself took the initiative, taking the contradictory action of going out to get food. Unless you can explain this contradiction, she will use this violent move to claim that magic was the cause.
Well, that's probably what Kyrie-san thought at the beginning, but she probably thought through a few things midway. Then changed her mind, decided the food was really necessary. It'd be bad if when things got tough, we were so hungry we had no energy, and well...
She is claiming that this change of heart was due to magic. In short, while it might be extremely difficult, you must explain the reason for Kyrie's change of heart.
God fucking damn it! Why does it feel like every time I get the hang of this game, someone changes the rules?
Witches only play Calvin Ball. Haven't we explained this?
Ugh, the only constant is that there is none.
Yeah, it would get boring. 1,000 years, remember?
Yeah, oh, you're right. You're talking about the inside of Kyrie-san's head, right? Can I also summon Kyrie-san's ghost and question her? Beto! Can't you call Kyrie-san here or something?
She cannot. That is a move permitted only to the witch side.
I see.
Sorry.
Ah, fuck.
They let him say fuck.
They let me say fuck. She was probably thinking of the kids and on the whole thought the food was necessary and
You must present your claim through objective means.
Fuck this. This would make a terrible game.
You'll need concrete proof that Kyrie changed her mind and decided that food really was necessary for some specific reason.
Does he? Or does he just have to show that there could be a reason why, that there could exist a reason why she could want to change her mind. He can just devil's proof his way out of it.
I don't know. For example, if someone heard her say that, or if it was written down somewhere.
Too bad. The reason she changed her mind was not passed on to anyone, nor was it written down.
But you just said that she changed her mind and read.
That's true, but she said that she used magic to make her change her mind.
Oh, right.
Therefore, you can only speculate as to what it was inside Kiria's mind. That's impossible to explain, bitch. You don't have a single counter to my move. Isn't it your turn to resign now, Battler Coon?
It is possible to hypothesize endlessly as to the reason behind her change of heart, and it is impossible to crush all of those endless possibilities.
A detestably spectacular move. If Battler-sama were to have a method of countering, it could probably be only that move.
What move is that?
Well, I wonder what kind of move it would be. I have the feeling it was Milady's specialty, but I cannot remember.
Quit being stingy and tell me. Beatrice, no answers will be given to those who stop thinking for themselves. Think. Think in your own way.
Why don't you resign right now? And I'll corner you even more with red. Until the last instant before she died, Kiria's behavior pattern of not going to get food equals not going to the mansion was maintained.
What? Not going to get food equals not going to the mansion.
What are you saying here?
But that's equally compatible with the idea that she had a totally different reason that's not food that would make her want to go to the mansion.
Yeah. Like, Battler doesn't have to explain he can just insist that she had a different
And yet, she took the initiative and headed towards the mansion. She was pushing a cart ready to carry food. Why that contradiction? Huh? Binge? Because I controlled her with magic. This is proof my magic exists and that I'm a witch.
Wait, just ask her if she controlled her with magic. Say it in red. Ava, did you control her with magic? Shut the hell up! You're saying that she never even changed her mind? The whole time until she died, Kiria-san thought, we don't need food, and we won't go to the mansion? Then why did she step forward herself and say that they should go to get food, and go to the mansion? You're saying that Kiria-san was being controlled with magic? That's stupid! How should I break through this magic? Well, Kiria over here just told us the reason behind her change of heart. What caused her to make this... No, what caused her to have this turnabout? No, I've already been told in red she never changed her mind. What should I do? There's no move that the human side can counter with.
The more I learn about this game, the more advantageous the rules seem for the witch, right? But I'm losing a lot of areas. I can win in just one. That alone can display the existence of a witch. In other words, Battler-kun has no way of denying witches other than a complete victory. How truly funny that even though you thought you could corner me and call me Ava, it's all been spun around by nothing more than the inside of your respected Kiria-san's head, right? Nah. Just do it. Resign. Why don't you just accept it? Why don't you just lose?
Damn it! It's impossible for a human to prove. I can't do anything but guess at what the dead were thinking when they acted. Furthermore, I can't deny the magic based on conjecture alone. To break through, I need objective proof as to why Kiria-san had a change of heart. Say it in red. But damn it! It's been said in red that no proof exists as to why she changed her mind and wanted to get food. What should I do? Damn it, damn it, damn it! Battler-sama, is this your resignation? No, not going to get food. Was not going to the mansion. Then how should I understand Kiria-san's thoughts, which actually do contradict each other?
You can't understand. It's impossible to understand. Impossible to interpret. And darkness is all the witch. Come on, it's useless to think, so quit it. Quit thinking, okay? Head empty. No thoughts. You just can't deny witches. After all, I exist right here. And the Golden Witch. It's me. I stole that name for the former witch over there. You can't deny that I'm Beatrice.
Damn it! You have no right to use that name. And yet, I can't think of a move to deny it. Battler could no longer counter this witch, who was laughing insanely in triumph. He didn't want to give up, but no move appeared. He ground his teeth, making fists with both hands. But even so, he couldn't think of a brilliant counterattack.
Battler-sama, your time limit is over, so will you resign?
Ah!
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.